vaping with the Ohmies. 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 Welcome everybody, welcome to the show. Let me introduce you to some dudes in case you don't know. First we got Aziz all the way from Kuwait. Always got a point when it's time for debate. Oh my Lanta, some call him Dan. Got the dad jokes in the palm of his hand. Boom Sauce McNasty got his eyes on the news. Got his ear to the streets and he's down for the crew. Next up is Clown, the DIY king. Got a juice line and some coils that sing. Then there's a bear who's smarter than average. Quick with a wit, his name Vapor Swaggins. Then there's the homie, we know him as Frames. And too many guests to remember the names. Together they make up this killer vape panel. So hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Vaping with the Ohmies. 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 Vaping with the Ohmies.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Vaping with the Ohmies. What's in the news, Coon Sauce? Alright guys, it's that time for Dan's dad joke of the week.
What is going on, Ohmies? Welcome back for episode 39, Weekday Ohmies Wisdom. From the title, of course, if you guys don't know, we got some special guests joining us tonight. Right below me, right here, we got my man, Shane Oakley, in the house. And, of course, over to this side, we got my man, Texas Cloudtown, the members of the Weekday and Weekend Wisdom, which is coming back, guys. It's coming back, and I'm super stoked. So, of course, we had to bring them on to talk about it. So with that, we're going to do our normal thing, talk about what we're going to be vaping on tonight. So with that, I'm actually going to throw it off to my man Shane, because I want to know what you're vaping on, bro. What you got tonight?
All right. I had some stuff. I just knocked it all over.
Kick him out of the show.
All right.
Yeah, no,
on to the next one.
Right.
Okay, bye.
Haven't done YouTube in so long. That's how you want to start?
I know it. I'm forgetting everything. I've got the Ohana on the Legend in there. Pulled out some Hometown Hero, the lemon bar.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I forgot how good that stuff was. I got the Dreamer, White Dreamer with the silver contact. Got the drop on top with the Ardent grip tip. Rocking some Pango in there. Sorry if my light's whiting everything out. I need to turn it down a little more. The Overlord with the Drop Dead. In there, still rocking Sad Boy Shamrock Cookie. Always will be. I have the Vert with the Dead Goat on top. Got the rings matching the drip tip.
Dude, match game on point.
And I stole the button and the silver contacts out of Stan's Unicorn Mech. Sorry, Stan. In there, got some Paradigm Wicked Berry. And as always, got Big Lunch, the Asgard on the Keen.
Nice.
And still rocking the Mango Bees.
Yeah, dude.
Mango
One of my favorites right there.
And got my little Aegis Boost with Pango 6 milligram. And then the Cocoa.
Dude, Pango is legit.
Oh, no. And
it's my
in
second
there,
favorite juice.
let's have the Solace Mint. And that's all I've got.
Very nice. Go ahead and pass it on, man.
Go ahead there, oh my Danta.
Knew Shane would pick me. All right, tonight, same as usual. Dreamer, Ohaha, DHD tip, Breeze tone coils in there, if I'm not mistaken. Finishing off my bottle of Turkish cake. Delicious. Vert Squad, RDA for vaping. Breeze tone coils in there because Breeze Tones makes bomb ass coils.
Yeah, it stands for bomb ass coils, actually.
Yeah, I mean, look it up. It's in the dictionary. Duo, Burst Duo, Guava Dragon Fruit. This is almost gone, and I'm going to move right over to Burst Raspberry Peach. Drip right on top. I don't even care. I ain't got time to rewick. I'm doing a show, you know?
Nice.
And then my new toy that I've had for almost 2 weeks now, Dot Mod AIO SE. This thing's awesome. In that, I am finishing off my 12 Monkeys Harambe 25 milligram. Yeah, and these coils stand pretty well. I'm going on 2 weeks, same 0.7 coil. It's awesome, man. That thing's. I love that it's got the USB, not the micro SD, but like the
USB Type C.
USB-C.
Yes, yeah, because I'm a Samsung guy. That's the chargers I have, so it works perfectly. Just if I'm in the living room, plug it in. And also, I like to mention, I hung up my Stormtrooper helmet, and I think it looks dope as shit. So
nice.
I like it. That's me. That's what I got. I'm gonna pass it off to Captain Crimson, aka Texas Cloud Town.
All right, so I hope I'm not lagging or anything.
So far, so good.
Okay.
First, I have the Barrage with the Omboyosi Squonker. I believe it's the Rage.
Yeah, dude.
Inside that, I got some of this white gummy. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
I like white gummy.
Yeah, I've been killing that. I've already went through 3 of those. Next, I got the Turk V2 DHD Chop Top on top of the NATO with some of this Keep It 100 in there. I just want to try it. It's pretty decent. Next, I got the Redemption Apocalypse, just the Redemption on top of the NATO with another DHD Chop Top. Inside some of this lemon from Surf. It's pretty good as well. And then I got the big boy. I got the Hammer with the Apocalypse 25 with the mega cap on there in stack mode with some of this whipped peanut butter pie that I got over there at the good old place where Dan used to go and work.
Ooh, what? Who? Where?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Next, I got Vert Squad right here with the V2 Unicorn RDA with the icing on the flakes inside.
Very nice.
And that's all I got.
Nice.
Sweet. So you're gonna throw it to, man?
Let's see what old Pooney Boy's got.
Well, I got a few things. So that you're stacking it up, might as well stack it up too. I got the Overpowered, the Glacier. Inside there, I got some Vengeance from our wonderful sponsors over at Rescue Liquid. And then next, I got the Cycloid with Jenna. Inside of there, some Blue Bolu, Banana Land. And then Captain, the Blotto. That's like my go-to setup right now whenever I go to work or something. Inside of there, I got some Treat Factory, the Cookie Crunch. And then, of course, we're doing the Vert Squad. They've got Vert Odium. But I don't know if this is the Hell Tip from her new set, but it's one of the red ones on there. And
one of them there red tips.
Yeah, one of the red ones. It's Just Lemon Blast from Hometown Hero. And yeah, that's all I got. What about you, Swaggy?
Yeah. What about me?
I don't know. What are you vaping on, man?
Well, to start, I got my Vert Squad Satburn with the flavor RDTA on top. This isn't a Vert, obviously. I don't have a Vert, so this is my substitute. I just realized there's a battery in it, and there's juice, and it's vaping. It's delicious. I can already tell it's Pango by Transistor inside of there, which is absolutely freaking stellar. Not as good as Tango Melon, which is inside of, actually, no, Pango's in this guy too. This is the Cycloid version 2.1 with the Jenna on top, the DLC coded Jenna.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, buddy. And there's Pango inside of there as well. And I've got the MMV Thrill by
Ooh.
MMV. It's a
Sexy.
DNA 60 guy. I like Delrin in stainless, man. I'm a simple guy. And that's the Theatra by Van and Del on top. And inside of that, I have Detox by 5150. And last but not least, I cannot go without right now until this thing breaks. My Twisted Messes edition, Smock Novo 2. It's my favorite little guy right now. Thank you. Big special shout out to my boy Twisted 420. Tropical Mango, 25 milligram Nick Salt. That's almost done, and then I can go back to my gloriously well steeped custard from Uncle Chris up north. And that's what I got, and I think it's on to you, James.
Yep, I think so, man. So first off, changed it up a little bit from this morning. It just says the stack was just a little too much for me. So, I went and put the parallel deck, or the, just your normal build deck, and the Axial Pro. Would you look at that? The Asgard Mini Beauty Ring fits on there, kind of taking up a little bit more space on top of that. Warlock's Dagger, of course, match action with that color change chop top from DHD. I've got some band build aliens inside of this, actually. Shout out to Macy. And some Ben from Rescued. You guys know Rescued's one of our amazing sponsors, and they just make delicious liquids. Ben is one of my absolute favorites. It just tastes absolutely phenomenal in that setup. Next one I've got, I'm going a little higher end with the rest of the buffet here tonight. Got the One Gin M from Madbeard Mods with that little stabwood action. Got the Flavor RDA from Adrian Yu on top, and would you look at that, a Janklin Green or 8-bit MTL tip from DHD on top of that, just pulling the setup all together. And inside got some Boule Bolu Banana Land, and it just tastes absolutely phenomenal out of this setup. It's just banging, and it's just look how small and tiny it is. It's awesome. Love this setup right here. Next one I've got something special in. I got the Dwarv MCL RTA, thanks to my man Swaggins, and the Vert Mini, the newest release from Unicorn Vapes Inc., the little 18350 jobby here. It's got the same clutch system going as the Vert. Cool thing about this is it comes with two different hybrid discs. So you get one that accommodates a 22, like what I got here, and one that accommodates 24, which is pretty damn cool. So inside of that, I've got some, Turkish Harvest in 12 milligram. Absolutely loving this little mouth-to-lung setup. This is pretty much what I've been vaping on most of the day today, because I've been dealing with a little bit of some sickness the past couple days. Hopefully I'll be over it by the end of the week. But other than that, that's pretty much it when it comes down to the buffet, guys. So before we get into our new segment here with Mr. Poon Sauce, of course, we want to take a second just to shout out all of our amazing sponsors. Of course, we've talked about them a little bit already. Rescued E-Liquid, they have Ben, they've got Vulcan, they've got Vengeance, they've got Velez, and they also have one of their new lines that they're starting up as well, Pack Leader. They have Mika, and I do believe there's a new flavor coming to that as well. Nico, if you guys seen the Grim vlog, he did announce that as well. So a bunch of new stuff coming from them. You can go check them out at rescuedeliquid.com. Use the code Ohmies, and that'll get you 10% off. And you can also use the code BARK20 if you do an order over $120, and that'll take $20 off. Of course, huge shout out to the CBD dispensary, aka purecbd1.com. You guys can go over there and check them out. They carry all kinds of CBD products when it comes down to topicals, tinctures, gummies, edibles, anything that you may need for your CBD needs. You can go check them out at purecbd1.com. Use the code OHMIES10. Actually, scratch that. That's code SHEDTIME for 10% off of your order over there as well. And then, of course, huge shout out to OPMH Project. You guys already know I'm a huge fan of the fountain lineup from them, but they also have the Real Deal Custard, which is some very solid custard flavors. They've got a Cheerio custard, key lime custard, and of course an original. And they also have the Watson line as well, which is an award-winning tobacco line. So if you guys are interested in any of those tobacco flavors, you can go check them out, opmhproject.com. They also do wholesale and distribution. So with all that, guys, huge shout out to our sponsors. Much love to all of them. Of course, you might be able to get a chance to get hold of some of their products here very soon. So just stay tuned for all that. And with that, guys, it is time for our favorite segment of the show. It is time for What's in the News, Poon Sauce.
Okay, well, if you guys haven't heard, our good friend Alex Azar was on a podcast, I believe it was last week, to where he said some very weird things that I'm not sure if I'm 100% like agreeing with here, but like, okay, I'm not saying I don't agree with it. I'm just not saying I don't trust I'm saying what I don't trust what he says, because they're definitely not going with our intentions in mind. I mean, the PMTAs wouldn't be around if they were going for the mass interest. So Alex Azar went on, and one thing that is really spoke out to me on it is the agency is promising to work with small companies to share and like help them fill out and possibly make it easier for them to file their PMTAs, which we all know is going to be very, very expensive for a lot of these small businesses, to where 95% of them aren't going to be able to afford it. So it's going to put I would say almost 98 to 99% of the vape industry out of business. So I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. I want to know everybody in chat's thoughts. I want to see, should we trust what this guy says? Should we think that he's going to work with small businesses and like possibly make it easier?
What other choice do we have? Let's be honest. I mean, in essence, the call that I thought always was, hey, this is great to hear these things. Sure, that's awesome. But we're going to continue to call the White House and to continue to reach out to our local government authorities or, representatives rather, to put the pressure on that the PMTA process in itself is unreasonable. Like the fact that they have to preemptively do this is just more evidence to that. So I don't think that changes anything. I think that we just say, hey, whether he says one thing or the other, it doesn't change anything. It's what we do. And I think we've seen that over the last several months, that it's because of our efforts and our combined efforts that we've maintained ourselves as an agenda piece, that even at the Democratic debate, vaping has been something of discussion, regardless of how grossly uninformed these politicians are. It just shows you that because of our efforts, we've seen fruits. So we continue to not sit back and wait for somebody to make promises. Even if they can show evidence of it, I think that we've learned that we need to continue to be doing and be active, because if we love this industry, only those of us that are consumers that we like, that's another thing. And it's a side note, so feel free to cut me off whenever, but the industry is a consumer industry, and the businesses are making money off of that, and we're fighting more than most of these smaller businesses, right? Well, the small businesses, the brick and mortars is not the exception. I'm talking about the guys making juice and the guys making products for the industry. We're having to fight for that. So unfortunately, it's our torch to carry. So that's why we're having this discussion.
Like for me, I feel like I'm kind of at the point where we kind of have to see what happens. You know what I mean? Like he could say all he wants, but until I see it is really when I'm going to believe it. You know what I mean? Of course, it gives me a little bit of hope that, that at least he's stating that he wants to help these small businesses, and their end goal is to, speed up the PMTA process to help these companies kind of get through it. But of course, like I said, it's one of those things where we're just going to kind of have to wait and see if it's actually going to happen or not. You know what I mean? It's all up in the air until that time comes. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of where I was with it. I guess past performance is always going to be an indicator of future behavior. Mm-hmm. So we need to look at kind of what he's done in the past. And if he's kept his word in the past, he may keep his word in the future. We don't know that right now. That will be something that we would need to do research on. What stance has he taken in the past, and how has he kept that stance up? And, being the advocates, we need to do that research to find out, because people are going to come to us and say, hey, I heard this, XYZ, is this really going to happen? and that way we can have proof and documentation for those people to say, yes, well, back in, 2012, he took a stance on XYZ and he kept his word through the whole ordeal. He didn't flip flop like a lot of other politicians do. So we don't really know at this time, but all we can do is the research to find out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
think about the same too. Like we like Shane said, we gotta go back and we gotta do our own research. As advocates, we all do our own research. We don't just trust what people say. So same thing with this. We need to go do our own research. Trust what he's saying, give him the benefit of the doubt, but make sure we do our research. And if we see in the back he was kind of crooked or a liar or corrupt, then we go from there and we say, okay, yeah, we shouldn't believe anything this guy says, but for right now, I think we should. Like I said, give him the benefit of the doubt, but we always got to make sure we do our own research, because if not, it could come back and bite us in the butt later.
Yeah, what were you going to say there, Dan?
Old song lyrics. If you can talk the talk, you better walk the walk. If you don't, we're going to smack you upside the head.
Yeah.
With our numbers is pretty much just stay ready. Don't take like, oh, well, he's going to do that and I'm going to do this. Like, no, don't do that. Because you never know when they're lying to you or just putting it out there to appease everyone. Stay ready, stay vigilant, keep doing your research, keep calling the White House, keep tweeting everyone, keep using the hashtags. Let's try to stay trending on Twitter. It makes a difference. We've already seen that it makes a difference.
Absolutely. One little thing that I kind of want to throw in here to the just the news segment as well, because it's something that kind of came through right before the show started, is where I saw this for all of our Australians out there, because I know there was a couple out there in chat. I do see Breeze Tones and Mo D out there. There's been quite a shift in the public view in Australia as of recently, and a major policy shift. The Royal Australian College of General Practitioners has endorsed vaping nicotine for Australian smokers in the latest National Smoking Cessation Guidelines published today. Just a little insert into what that says. The Peak GP organization has carefully reviewed all the evidence on the effectiveness and safety of vaping and has determined that it is a legitimate quitting aid for all adult smokers. The guideline advises GPs and other health professionals to recommend vaping for smokers who want to quit but have tried unsuccessfully with currently available medications. So that right there is a pretty awesome win for all the Aussies out there. Having a public, health organization recognizing the benefits, as well as, like the Royal College of Physicians has done in the UK. So that right there is a big win over there for the Aussies. Hopefully that's something that can kind of continue and hopefully change some of the regulations that they've got going out there when it comes down to, vaping and stuff like that, and kind of helps put them, the right foot forward when it comes down to that. And hopefully we can kind of, see some of these things start to happen here with some of our public health organizations, which I know is kind of a long shot with, the history of how things tend to happen here. But, they can't run from the science forever, guys. That right there shows you that Australians finally starting to see it. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah.
I kind of want to play a
That's
little
awesome.
bit of, I don't want to say devil's advocate on this, but kind of like a different side of where kind of looking at what's happened here. Okay, they might kind of slow down on the whole nicotine thing over in Australia, but do you think this possibly can be a situation to where they can start targeting flavors now?
Let's just be honest.
I don't think so.
When it comes down to it, we have to constantly be in the mind of the offensive until there's legislation in place that protects us. Because laws you can't pop up a court at 3 a.m. and decide we're going to push some legislature through before anybody wakes up. With a law, it's a law, and there's a process to unmake that law or to alter that law that gives us the process of time to organize and get our legal counsel the process in time to organize. So in essence, in any country that's democratic by nature and has some constitution, basically, I can only speak for America, but if you have a government similar to the American democracy, then you want it to be a legislative process. You want to have laws in place that protect vaping and smoking harm reduction.
Yep. Right. Until it's on ink and paper and it's signed by those people you need it to be signed for, don't let up, because they can change it at any time.
That's
it's
the
just
end goal.
hearsay.
Right.
Yeah.
And one thing that I noticed that I think we all should focus on more is not just being vaping advocates. We need to be tobacco harm reduction advocates. We need to look at it as a whole and say, okay, we need, rather than and my boss uses this all the time, this motion, we're focused on vaping advocacy, but we also need to include that tobacco harm reduction within it. Combustible tobacco harm reduction. That's something that I had a lot of driving this past week. I went to Bowling Green for a couple of days and came back. So 9 hours worth of driving to sit there and talk to myself. So I thought about a lot of things. And that was one thing that came to mind, that, maybe we kind of lose the focus on the tobacco harm reduction, considering we're so focused on the vaping advocacy. And I think that's something we all really need to pay attention to as we move forward.
Dude, honestly, Shane, that's a great point, man, because I do think that's something that we do kind of tend to forget about. You know what I mean? Because we are vapors, you know what I mean? We vape. That's one thing that we're very passionate about, one thing that we want to continue to fight for. But at the same time, this is something we came to as a tobacco harm reduction alternative. You know what I mean? That's why we picked this device in this industry and this community, because this is what ultimately ended up working for us in that aspect, and we need to continue to fight for that aspect of it, like you're saying, Shane, so that this alternative can be around for those that want to have this tobacco harm reduction alternative, you know what I mean, or this smoking cessation product, or whatever they want to dub it as. I totally agree with that, man, and that's definitely, I think, something we all should keep in the back of our minds when it comes down to the overall fight. You know what I mean? It's not only about, keeping the vaping products around. It's just about tobacco harm reduction in general. You know what I mean? And helping, people find these safer and healthier alternatives. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we want these things around for not just our kids, but their kids, and moving forward that way. And, thinking of it as tobacco harm reduction is, I think, the better way to go about it. A lot of people will look at you and say, oh, you're a vaping advocate, and kind of give you that. But
harm reduction, man. I'm a harm reduction advocate.
Yeah. If you go and say, I'm a combustible tobacco harm reduction advocate.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you take the broader argument of I'm on the side of harm reduction. Specifically, right now, I'm very focused on, alternatives to combustible cigarettes and combustible forms of nicotine delivery. But otherwise, like you could say for cannabis, like I'm in the market of getting people off of synthetic medications and finding a more herbal
natural alternative.
I'm a herb, so you can resonate with a lot more people when you say I'm a harm reduction advocate.
Exactly.
This is specifically what I focus on, because when you do that, they can make a parallel and they can empathize and they can relate. When you say I'm an advocate for vaping, brilliant point, Shane. I mean, we live within the bubble. We don't talk about how to speak within that. And this is a great way. It's like, I'm a harm reduction advocate, because you are. I mean, we all are. I feel like I agree with both the statements I made.
Yeah,
100%.
You should drive to Bowling Green more often if we're gonna come up with things like that. Well, next time, give me a call. I'm not far away.
Now, with all that being said, this is definitely a subject that kind of ties into you guys and what you guys do for your shows. You know what I mean? You got the weekday wisdom that happens over on your channel, Shane, and of course the weekend wisdom, which happens over there on Mr. Texas Cloudtown, aka the what are we calling them today? Captain Crimson, Thighs, there's all kinds of names for the dude. But anyways, these guys are just diehard, just advocates and activists at that, man, because they not only are they doing their research, but they are continuously, calling, writing emails and just doing their part. And that's one thing that I absolutely respect about these two dudes, as well as Corey and what he does over there and what's in the news. It's these guys have found what they're passionate about in this community and what drives them to create this content and be able to share this information with a vast group of people that actually just want it. All you got to do is just, go onto YouTube, type in Weekend Wisdom, and then you get all these different episodes. Of course, they did take a break there for a while, but luckily they're coming back. And you guys are going to be able to get great information shared from these guys because, like I said, they do their research, man. Like, I know they do, because I could sit here and talk to Shane, and he was like, oh man, I was reading this earlier today, and this said this. The same thing happens with Jay. He's literally got a notepad that sits with him at all the time, that he's got notes written down about whatever he's looked up throughout that week. So you guys know you're going to get genuine information from these guys. So with that, like, what's some things that we can kind of expect happening with the comeback of the Weekday and Weekend Wisdom?
One of them was, we just want to have it as more fun. Believe me, we had a good break. Me and Shane, we're gonna kind of regroup it and bring it back, and we're gonna have it to where it's a little bit better. It's not gonna be like a whole bunch of fun and games, but there's gonna be ways to where we're gonna try to get more people from the chat to interact. And that's one thing that Shane has said since the beginning is, man, we've had real good chat interaction this time, and there's times where we haven't. And we're just trying to bring that back, because that really brings more of a passion. You have more people listening. You have more people following along. I know not everyone can sit there on chat, because there's sometimes at work I'll listen to someone's live, and I can't sit there and type and everything because I'm just listening to it. But I mean, we're gonna try to get the chat interacted more. We're gonna have more guests. There's my boss. I want to bring him on. Like y'all were talking a minute ago about just harm reduction in general. He stopped smoking because this year we're doing this thing where you can't smoke at work and all this other stuff. And I got him to actually do the patches. And he's like, oh, I want to do vaping, but I don't want it to be another, not addiction, but he doesn't want to turn.
He didn't want to pick up another habit.
Yeah, exactly. That was his exact words. And he doesn't want to make it a hobby and do all this
Yeah.
and that.
And that's
like,
totally cool.
And he didn't want to do it. So I was like, okay, well, here, at least try patches. Just don't try the Chantex and all that. Just try the patches, see how it works. And he's already down from 30 to 40 cigarettes a day, he said, which is about 2 pack and a half, now down to about 5 to 10. And
that's awesome.
Like,
wow.
That's
like,
awesome.
Dude. Yeah, and he's like, oh, I'm using the patches. Don't you kind of like hate that? I'm like, dude, whatever works as long as you're off combustibles, because it's slowly killing you. And
right.
I mean, he's my boss. We're not the closest or anything, but I don't want to see anyone die from combustibles or have to go through all of the suffering and everything with the cancer and all of that. So I mean, that's just a couple things we want to do. I want to bring people in, even if they are still smoking, to kind of share their story and what they've been through.
Yeah, man.
So it's kind of like putting both of Poon Sauce's shows together, the What's in the News and What's Your Story. Because I want to hear people's story, but not just people who are vaping, because I want to see how they eventually went around and been able to quit. So that's a couple things we want to do for sure.
That's awesome, man.
Even people that have tried vaping and it didn't work that time.
Yeah.
We talked about getting them in there. That way they could kind of say, hey, I tried this, this, and this. Yeah. And then talking to us, we could maybe give them more advice on what to try next.
It'd be great is if you could help to shed more light in the community, and just to have content that people can have access to break the stigma around dual use, because there's so much stigma in our community.
Absolutely.
People don't, I mean, at least not in our community, like our smaller sub communities, we don't have any judgment. Like I dual used forever, but you feel it because I know it's there. I mean, my sister-in-law dual used for a while and she didn't want to tell me, but I know that that's prevalent within our community. Like people don't like, oh, if you had a cigarette, like, oh, we're so big on this testimony of how long it's been since we've had one that people don't want you to know. So we need to break that stigma, I think.
Absolutely.
Because people have that persona of like, if people find out they're dual using, we're going to like
disown them.
We're gonna pretty much throw them to the wayside. You're not part of this community.
That's not it at all. And that's and I can kind of agree with Swaggins when I say, like, when it comes down to our like little kind of sub community in the industry, that's definitely something that we're not about that at all. We want to accept everybody and help anybody from whatever part of your journey you're on, whether you're just quit smoking and are trying to vape, or you're a smoker as of now trying to get in. Like, whatever we can do to help you in your journey and point you down the right direction and ultimately help you quit is what we're here to do, regardless of whether you smoke 5 cigarettes a day and still, use a vape. It doesn't matter, because at least now you're not vaping those 10 to 20 cigarettes you're smoking before. Now you're down to those 5, and who knows, those 5 might go down to 3, and those 3 might go down to 1, and then that 1 might go down to none, and then who knows, you might not be vaping or smoking or doing anything. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I believe that's what all of our end goal was when picking up vaping, was eventually to completely quit anything. You know what I mean? That's the ultimate goal. Some of us, like me, as of right now, I don't see myself quitting vaping anytime soon, because as of right now, I enjoy the nicotine. It's something that, helps me get through my day. It's one of my vices. You know what I mean? Everybody's got a vice. Whether you drink, you consume cannabis, like everybody's got their one thing, you know what I mean? And if this is my one thing and it's 95% healthier than picking up that, combustible cigarette that I used to smoke 20 to 30 to sometimes 40 of in a day, then yeah, I'm going to pick this any day. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But we can't, badger somebody because they can't do it just as well as we have. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. Everybody's situation's different.
Yeah, I was almost a 6-month dual user before I finally quit.
Livia was a 6-year dual user.
Yeah, and I mean, there's other people. I'm not going to mention her name, but we were in Discord and Zoom one time a while back, and she was like, "Well, I really don't want to tell anybody, but I'm still smoking a little bit every once in a while." And I said, "Hey, it's okay.
There ain't nothing wrong with that."
I shared my story with her. Hey, I did it for almost 6 months before I was able to say, okay, I can fully lay this down and I don't have to do it anymore.
Dude, I probably dual used quite because I tried to quit smoking a few times, and I picked up vaping. I dual used for a few months, and then ended up just going back to cigarettes, and then I dual used for another couple months, and then ended up going back to cigarettes, and then finally I found that one device, that one liquid that was able to I was completely able to make the switch. You know what I mean? But it took me a few tries, and within a couple months, it took me within a year to finally make that full switch. You know what I mean? And that's for me. Like you said, you had 6 months. Like there's some people out there that might take a year or two to do, but that's totally fine, man. You know what I mean? At least you're taking the steps. You know what I'm saying?
And there's always that one person that, well, as soon as I got my vape, I quit smoking.
And that's great. Fucking fantastic, man. Fine. Kudos. I wish it could be that easy for everybody, but to be completely honest, it's not, guys. It's not. No. And that's something we all have to realize sometimes. It's, not everybody's going to have the easy transition we did.
It's when your taste starts to come back.
Yep, and you can smell again.
Because like you're vaping on like Fruit Loops and you're smoking, and you're like, the difference is like not nominal, but then all of a sudden you're smoking less and the Fruit Loops are starting to taste better and the cigarettes are starting to taste more like shit.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, fuck that. I want to go with the Fruit Loops all the time because cigarettes taste and smell awful. And then you get to the point where like I literally smell it in the car in front of me and I'm like, why? Because every time you put the defroster on in your car, it switches over from being internally regulated air to sucking in air from the outside. I'm like, it's blowing smoke in my face. I mean, I'm not like that insane about it, but I'm like, I realized that I smelled that. I smelled like that for 13 years.
Yeah.
I kind of look at it the same way as, okay, you look at somebody who's dual using as well. I think of it as they're going through an internal battle right now with themselves because they're trying to do what's better for them, but they still, I don't want to say they don't have the will to yet, but they're still trying to pretty much fight this battle that is the fucking cigarette in their hand. And that's something that you have to respect. You have to give them kudos for because not everybody's that strong to do it. Some people try to quit with vaping and have been able to do it.
Yeah. And it's not just a physical thing. There's a mental side to it also.
Absolutely.
That's what they talk about, the hand to mouth motion. And that's the reason a lot of people will use suckers or toothpicks. I even used straws one time. Trying to quit because I was
autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's
that's
just
hand to throat.
The hand to we're talking hand to mouth here.
Autoerotic fixation.
Never go ask them.
Erotic seems like the wrong word.
Yeah.
Good thing I took my pants off.
Yeah.
Sheboygan.
Dan's desk is going to move here in a minute.
Shit.
All right.
But it's not just that physical side of it; it's that mental side too. The addiction, not just to the nicotine, but to everything else that they put in that combustible tobacco, the carcinogens. If you're a menthol smoker, there's other stuff added to it that will get you addicted to that also.
Fiberglass, baby.
Yeah,
right.
You have to take all that into consideration for these people that are trying to quit and that are still dual using. But like Swaggin said, once that flavor starts coming through, it's like you gravitate towards that flavor more.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to me.
That and once you get all that junk out of your lungs and stuff, and you can breathe in the morning, and you're not like hacking up a lung every, right when you wake up, or like you could smell.
I still am hacking shit out.
For me, what finally helped me just completely make that change is when I was, walking through the smoking area at work, and I could smell a cigarette, and it smelled disgusting. Like it did not smell appealing to me whatsoever, and I'm just like, man, that's how I smelled. Or I'd have a buddy walk up to me from work, and this dude smoked like a chimney, man. He always had one hanging out of his mouth, and I smelled him 2 feet away from me. Before he even like got in my bubble, I could smell the cigarettes on him. I'm just like, damn, that's bad. I can't believe people would have to deal with that when they would talk to me. You know what I mean? Because I know I probably smelled like that, if not worse, at some points. You know what I mean? So it was a whole lot of stuff.
I remember in high school, like getting home early from going on a cruise with my friends and like standing up front of my house and just blowing cigarette smoke all over myself. And then my mom like catching me when I come in the house and hugging me, smelling like that. Oh my God.
Yeah. And I thought I was so slick. Like they didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. It just shows you how nose blind you become when you start smoking.
Yeah.
I always had back in high school, I used to have like an extra can of Axe in my freaking backpack, just so like almost like freaking spraying myself like crazy, like oh crap, like trying to make sure I don't get caught with the smell and everything. Luckily, my brother still smoked at the time, so it was easier kind of get away with it because he smelled like cigarettes.
Yeah,
I always used to be that freaking bum trying to go through his buds in the ashtray out front and be like, oh, there's still tobacco in here.
Yeah, I've come home because there's still a lot of people that I work with that smoke. And I'll be outside and they'll come outside and I'll come home and my wife's like, you smell like a cigarette. And I was like, well, I was just outside with them. I promise. You don't have anything.
Especially if you live in an area that's cold. For some reason, when it's cold out, it sticks to you more.
Yeah.
Just like VG on your windshield.
Oh, yeah. God. Holy shit.
If there's one thing we could fix with science for vaping,
anybody out there that's got a degree in like some sort of scientific stuff, man. Make us some sort of solution that just permanently gets rid of the VG off of my windshield.
My arm does not do this on my windshield very well.
No, it doesn't. Okay? It doesn't.
When I try to do it, there's times where I accidentally hit the horn or something. Like,
oh, dude, I did that at the gas station one day. I'm sitting there and I'm just like going, and there's like this lady in front of me, and I accidentally beeped the horn. She jumped so fucking far, dude. It was hilarious. The hose came out of her car. It was nuts.
Damn. You stick her out the window.
Sorry, I can't see. I'm just trying to clean the window.
Or like you can tell when somebody does it the bum way to where they only do in front of them. So like
so you got the one circle in the front and everything else is just fog.
That's what mine is right now. My whole passenger side is like a haze.
Yeah,
it's so
like
terrible.
back in when Dan was in the swamp.
You're like, oh, I can see until I have to turn right.
Mine was like that. Mine was like that around Christmas time. My brother was down here. And he flew down from Oregon for like the holiday and stuff. Or it was either Christmas or Thanksgiving, one of the two. But anyways, I went with them to go get some new phones and shit, and like as we're driving, like I could see perfectly fine out of my side, right? And he looks at me and he's like, how the fuck do you see out of your goddamn window? And he just goes like this, and it's just, you could see how thick the film was on his side of the car. I'm just like, damn, that's bad. Because, I commute 500 miles a week in my car back and forth to work. So I'm always in my car just vaping my face off. And, most of the time I have a window cracked or I've got my windows up because I'm usually in Discord, chatting with the Stooges while I'm on my drive home instead of listening to a podcast or whatever. I can hang out and chat with the Stooges. So that's like what I do. And just, it's bad, man. It is terrible. It is terrible.
Like I've tried getting in the habit of like always having that driver's side window cracked just a little bit so it'll creep out. But when you have those days where it's -20, that little crack feels like fucking icicles going down your spine. When the wind hits it, you're like, nope.
Yeah.
That you're on blast.
There is a window cleaner at Walmart. It's called Invisible Glass.
I've heard of that.
Like a aerosol can. And it will last. I mean, I vape a lot in my car too, and I clean my windows maybe once every 6 to 8 weeks.
That's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, it lasts that long.
Another one in chat from Still Valley Vapor, he says vinegar and Windex he found works pretty well.
Yeah.
Vinegar and tree tea oil. It works pretty good. I'm just
Blowing
saying,
your vapor
Billy,
out the window would work too.
Yeah, that too.
it does, but it still gets on the. I'm just saying, Billy Mays left us a little too early. He would have fixed this problem.
Yeah,
for
he would
us.
have had something, bro, like
Shout outs to Billy.
oxy window or
I
something.
think
Yeah.
we need to get this
Yeah.
guy who does the Flex Seal crap and have a talk with him.
Yeah. Rain-X vape.
Yeah,
Saran wrap around your face. That'll fix it.
it'll be Vape-X, not Vape Pix, Vape
Don't
X.
give him Corey ideas. He will go try that.
What? You want me to put a plastic bag over it? Okay.
That'll fix it.
Ashton
Cut some
Palmer's
eye holes.
Ashton Palmer says elbow grease works the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
weenus. Have you ever milked a weenus though?
Yeah,
Really difficult.
very hard to do so.
Yeah.
Especially since there's no
Try it.
nipple. But anyway,
Hashtag milk the teeth.
yeah, milk the
I've got
teeth.
nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
So
Yeah.
we're super excited for you guys' show to come back, man. Just the conversation that you guys are gonna have. Of course, we always enjoy talking with you guys. It's been a little bit. I know you guys have both been busy with personal lives and stuff like that. You guys had a lot going on, but we're super glad to hear that you guys are coming back and bringing the show back. It's been something we've been missing, man, for
Yeah.
sure.
Shane got a new job. Texas Cloud Town had 75 birthday parties to
I was
go
about
to.
to say,
Yeah.
in 4 days. Like life, man. I get it.
When's the next freaking boat trip, man? Come on.
We just took one to Colorado. The next boat one, hopefully soon. But probably another trip to Colorado before then.
It's just jealousy over here. Is
Yeah.
all that is. Okay, that's all it is. I'm watching your Instagram story and I'm like, God damn it.
Look
Oh
at
yeah, Anthony said.
Someone send him an AA link.
Yeah.
Anthony said he should ask to. He said we should come out with a CBD window cleaner because sometimes no one ever thinks about the overall mental and physical health of your windshield.
Yeah.
That's right.
Absolutely.
CBD could
Sometimes you
probably
never
be
sit
helpful.
there and wonder, I wonder if my windshield hurts.
Yeah, when your eyes are fogged, you want someone to spraying you in the face with Windex. Or
Yeah,
CBD?
What if your windshield could talk? You'd be like, God damn it, fucking stop doing that.
We're going through a patch of bugs and it hitting the windshield. You're gonna hear it crying.
Right. Well, what we're doing now here at the end of the show, guys, if you guys did not catch last week's episode, is Dan brought us a new little segment that we're going to start doing at the end of the show, and it's something that you can actually, take with you later on throughout the week and, kind of jam out to, because we started the Vaping with the Ohmies Spotify playlist. So
Hold
what
on,
we
I'm getting
did...
it open.
all
on.
right. Yeah, thanks, Corey. Thanks for yelling at everybody. But anyways, what we do, guys, is each one of us here on the show, including if we have guests on the show, are going to add a song or two to this playlist. And we are also going to pick a song from chat. So all you guys out there in chat, if there's a song that you would like to add to the Vaping with the Ohmies playlist, stop dropping your suggestions down there in chat right now. And then we'll have one of our lovely panelists here pick one out from chat to add to the list. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to throw it to Swags for the first one this week, bro. Because I know you got one or two to add to the list, and there's some pretty good ones. So what you got?
Thank you. So basically, I prepared because someone reminded us at the beginning. Thank you, Dan.
Finger guns. Bang, bang,
Yeah.
baby.
So I listened to what I listened to my recently listened to, and I was like, all right, these are two good ones, but I'll go with one for now because that's what we're supposed to do. And my one for this week, or first one for this week, is Colors. That's spelt the proper way, COLORS, by the Black Pumas or the Black Pumas.
Pumas.
Colors by the Black Pumas.
Good choice. Good choice.
Okay.
Put it in chat, or you got this?
Add the playlist. Boom.
It's like
Okay.
funk.
Boom. Add it.
Punk.
Who's next?
Oh, I got to choose somebody. I'm going to choose one of our guests. And that guest is going to be the man with the golden thighs.
Nice.
About to say they're more like neon white. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
you can see my veins through them. I'm translucent.
Yes. Gold.
My first song will be one that this artist just came out with a new album and everything, and this is one of his older songs though, and it just brought me back to start listening to it. Is Yellow Wolf, Empty Bottles.
Ooh, that's a good one, bro.
And that one I can just jam out to all day, every day. If you haven't
He's got a
checked out his
beanie
new
on.
album,
He likes music.
check it out.
He's got a beanie on in Texas. He likes music.
Yeah.
Is the name of the song "Empty Bottles" or?
Yes.
Yes. The name of the song is Empty Bottles.
And yellow is not spelled your normal way. It's just YELO. Wolf. One word. There you go. Very nice. So who you going to throw it off to, Jay?
I am going to throw it off to Mr. Poon Sauce.
Okay, well, this is a band that's I would say is my favorite band right now. They're a band out of France called Novelists, and their new album came out maybe like was it Friday or something? I think I don't know in the U.S. but it's a song called Head Rush, which is I'm a really big fan of right now. So the whole album is phenomenal. So that's gonna be my choice.
Just freaking phenomenal.
All right, throw it off the Poon Pants.
How about you, Mr. Dan?
Ooh, my song comes from my Thursday Throwdown from last week. It's just a really good song. It's by Alexis on Fire. It's called "This Could Be Anywhere in the World." It has Dallas Green in it. He's a phenomenal singer from City and Color, and they bring like very raw screaming with his very sensual toned voice, and I really like it. And
Very sensual.
It's a very good song. You listen to it and you can't help but just like jam out with it and then sing the chorus with Dallas. It's a very good song. I enjoy it very much.
Nice. So what about you, Shane?
Let's see. For the first one, if we have two, I have a backup. Something that I've always enjoyed listening to. Filter. Hey man, nice shot.
Good choice.
Love that song.
Very nice.
Really get you fired up.
All right. So I guess it's my turn, and mine is going to be from Dr. Dre's The Chronic.
Oh, snap.
And it's going to be Still Dre. One of my favorite songs off The Chronic. The Chronic's just like one of my absolute favorite albums to listen to, period. So yeah, Still Dre, 100%.
Yeah, is it back to me?
Yes, sir.
Perfect, because I'm going to stay on that rap hip-hop note, and you went with a throwback, and I'm going to go with something new, and I'm going to say Options by NF.
Ooh.
That's NF, capital N, capital F. That whole album, The Search, is dope, but we'll go with Options for this week. And I'm going to pass it to, who did I pass it to? Jay. Himself.
So I'm a big rap fan and everything, and I like a lot of country too. So instead of going with something newer country that I like to listen to a lot, something that kind of brought me back into country a while back is "You Never Even Call Me by My Name," David Allan Coe.
Nice.
Great song.
He wears a beanie. He likes to listen to good music.
Yeah.
I have the hats right above me. I can put one on.
Stetson.
All right. So who's next? Is that is it Poon Sauce?
Oh snap!
Whoa.
We got a cowboy in the house.
Yeah, dude. I think it's your turn, Corey.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go with another really good instrumental band that I'm a big fan of. I'm gonna go with The Olive Tree by Scale the Summit. And how about you, Dan?
I'm a big Tool fan. I'm a big Maynard James Keenan fan, so we're gonna go with A Perfect Circle, the song Judith.
Watch me.
One of my faves. Very good track. And I pass it off to Shane, Pastor Oakley.
Thank you, sir. I also have a country song.
Yes. My country boys are here. Yes. I'm so excited.
I don't think this one was very promoted, or it might not even be released, but it's Chris Stapleton, Either Way.
Dude, anything Chris Stapleton, bro.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
Yeah. That song will hit you right in the feels.
Absolutely.
I gotta see him live.
When I first heard him, he reminded me a lot of like Travis Tritt, but like with more.
Bro, Travis
Think about
Tritt,
it.
bro. Ooh.
Think about it, dude. He
Damn.
sounds a
Weirdest
lot like
playlist I've
him,
ever
but
seen.
like newer age developed better.
You know what?
Yeah.
Since we're going down this country train here, I'm gonna have to go down it, and I'm gonna have to go down with the best of all time, the GOAT, Garth Brooks,
Yes,
and it is
sir.
going to be The River. If you don't know that song,
Good one.
you need to listen to it. Period.
If you don't know Garth Brooks, you get the heck out of here.
Yeah, you just get the hell out of here, okay?
Just get out of here. Okay?
You don't know
What
good
I'm
music. If you don't know Garth Brooks.
I bet
So
you Aunt
yeah.
Karen loves Garth Brooks.
All right, so that's going to be our ads to the playlist this week, guys. So with that, there are some great ones out there in chat. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to throw it to one of our guests to pick the song to add to the playlist this week. So I'm going to go with, let's have Shane pick one out. What do you think, Shane? You see a good one out there?
Here's my mouse.
We just got loaded with country, so keep that in mind too. Find something a little diverse.
Yeah.
There's only going to be those 3 country songs on this thing.
It's going to be a long playlist. I mean, until Corey forgets about it.
Yeah,
good.
I have to pick one by hole. Just kidding.
Yes. Hole. Fucking hole, bro.
I thought you said pole.
No. I just saw Dan's comment there, no hole.
It's a thing me and Uncle Chris have. He thinks they're good. I know they're terrible. It's a
what,
thing.
like meatloaf?
No, like whole, like
meatloaf,
Courtney
bro.
Let's see. It's not. Okay, here we go. Oh no, that's country. Never mind. I have to go away from country from what he said. How about "Bubble in My Bloodstream" by Martha from TMS 420?
Sure.
Yes.
I don't know who that is.
I don't either. I'm interested. So let's throw it on there. I'll go listen to it later. I'll go check it out.
Thanks, TMS.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for
TMNT.
Thanks for the new music to check out, bro. I always like to listen to some new stuff.
Yeah, and tell Mama Janklin I looked for BGs and everything else, but it wasn't there.
Oh, okay. She says Shane has good taste in music. He will pick a good one. Anytime you come into any of the chats when it's like music related and you start dropping like songs and stuff, my mom's like, I fucking love Shane. He's got good taste. He knows good stuff. So with all that, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up this show. We got, our ads to the playlist. We got the ad from you guys. Of course, you can check that out over on Spotify. Corey, if you have a link for it or something, maybe you can drop it for somebody. Or if not, guys, we'll pin it. We'll also pin it to the Facebook group over on the Vaping with the Ohmies Facebook group. We'll have Corey put up a pinned message for you guys and the announcements. That way you guys can go check it as we add on to it and stuff like that. So that'll be over there on the Vaping with the Ohmies Facebook group. If you guys have not joined, go over there and check it out. With all that, what I'm going to do is just kind of throw it off to you guys here on the panel, do a little bit of some sign outs. So why don't we go ahead and start off with our guests first? We'll start with Jay, and then Shane, you could take it after that. What do you guys want to say to the people out there?
All right, so pretty much I want to thank all y'all for letting me be on here.
Absolutely.
Come out and tell everyone we're coming back for good this time. But I just want to let everyone know, just don't stop the fight. I know we've had some wins, some losses here lately. Let's just keep it up. Don't stop the fight. Don't ever stop fighting for stuff you believe in. Because if you really believe in it and you really love it, you'll keep fighting for it at all times. So that's pretty much all I got.
What about you, Shane?
I always say, let your voice be heard. Now is that time. It's been that time. And people have to understand that we're not just fighting for us. The people in this Zoom chat, we're all going to be okay. Like I said earlier, we want this around not just for our kids, but their kids and their kids after that. Simply because we know this is the best harm reduction alternative to combustible cigarette. We are living proof of it. Every vapor out there is living proof that this is the number one harm reduction for combustible cigarettes. So, just to echo what Jay said, keep your head up. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of battles going on, and we need everybody in tune as one voice, and that's how we'll win. And thank you guys for having us on.
Absolutely.
We apologize for the break. It was just way too much with this new job, especially for me. Most people out there don't know I took over a dumpster fire, so I had a lot of stuff to do and just getting it ironed out. But thank goodness it's steady now. That way I can devote the time that is needed for this. You know, if we were still doing it, I wouldn't be able to put the time in to give you guys what you deserve on that show.
Well, we appreciate you guys and what you guys do, definitely. So definitely stay tuned, you know, over there on Jay's channel as well as Shane's channel. Those links are in the chat there. Liv is dropped for you guys. So make sure you guys go over there, give them a sub if you haven't already, and stay tuned for the upcoming weekday and weekend wisdom. With that, Corey, what you got coming up this week?
Of course, the usual. Me and Sean on Wednesdays for another episode of What's in the News. We might talk about some interesting stuff. We don't know yet. We're working on it. Who knows? Everything's up in the air right now, but get ready because it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited with the way things have been turning out lately with the kind of direction our show's gone, with more topic, kind of keeping things like within segments. It's kind of cool. I don't know. I'm used to just going by the skin of my teeth and just freeballing it, but having set times when we're talking about stuff and then having the end where we're just having fun. I like it. It's fun. So. And plus, I think Sean has a good time with it, too. It's kind of a nice change of pace for both of us. So, yeah. So, check us out on Wednesday, 7:30 Central.
Very nice. Very nice. What about you, Swags?
Yeah, we got Never Heard of Them on Wednesdays on Heavy Metal Vapor Channel, 9 p.m. Eastern. Vape Stew on Stan's channel, Tenacious TX Vapes, on Fridays at 10 p.m. Eastern. And this Sunday, we will have another high-end vape forum on Stan's channel again at 1 p.m. Eastern. So that's me this week.
And don't forget about what's in the scoop.
Oh yeah, what's in the scoop?
Absolutely. And with that, we can't end the show without, Dan giving you guys a couple, words, and also ending with Dan's dad joke of the week.
I got the good one.
He got the good one.
So, just so you guys know, there's no getting out of an R. Kelly cult. Once you're in, you're in.
Oh my god!
Think about
that one's a thinker.
I just want to say,
got me pissed off.
Oh man!
If you're R. Kelly, it's both. I just like to say I love doing this every week. You guys are awesome. Thank you for everything. Anyone in chat, if you're not a part of Vaping with the Ohmies Facebook group, come hang out with us, join the group, answer the questions. We'll get you in there. It's a good time. Go on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. Everyone else here should be on Twitter. I hope you are. Get on Twitter. Stay vigilant. Don't take no shit from anyone. Let them know the truth. We know we have the research. We have the science. Keep pushing out there. Keep calling your senators, your representatives, the White House. Also, if anyone is in the Michigan area, see, this is my map of Michigan right here. I live here. But we're doing Stooge Meetup number 5, I think. Number 5 or 6.
Has it really been that much?
Stooge Northeast.
Yeah, Stooge, Michigan meetup. Corey's coming over. He's staying with me. So, like Shane said, dumpster fire. So I'll be taking care of the dumpster fire.
Yeah.
We have Jacoby Vapes, Macy Band Build, Overdrip, and Uncle Chris and Sammy are coming down. We have Anthony Ramella will be joining us. If you want to hang out,
the Rescued Squad.
The Rescued Squad will be coming. This thing keeps growing every meetup we do.
Don't forget about Brian the Vaping Canadians.
Brian the Vaping Canadians coming
dude,
again.
I'm so jealous. I wish I could come.
We all get together. We are all going to Metro Vapor Plus in Lincoln Park, I think it is, off of E-Course Road or something. It'll be get in the Vaping with the Ohmies thing. If you're in the area, you want to come hang out. Hang out
and
with
Macy of Band Builds is going too.
I said that. I said Jacoby and Macy will be there.
Damn, it's gonna be a party.
It's gonna be a party. We go and hang out at a really awesome vapor shop, give them some business, hang out with each other, go get some dinner, split our separate ways. Me and Corey are going out Saturday night karaoke.
Oh god.
What's up? So
oh god.
You're in the area, want to join? Come fucking hang out with us.
I might have to just fly down there just to see.
Hey, you just leave that hat at home and you come right up, buddy.
What are you talking about? That's what he's flying in on.
Yeah.
Did you weave it yourself, or what did
Those are his
Chris
wings.
say? Did you earn it the last time you were in a high noon fight or something?
Well,
Yeah.
Somebody get me some butterscotch custard while you're there.
yeah.
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 Well,
And I know, James, you're probably gonna say it, but I just want to hype it up a little bit. The Shed Time podcast is lit AF. If
Yep.
you're not, go over to SoundCloud, follow Shed Time. They're gonna do a sick ass giveaway when they get 500 subs. So good. First episode's great. Second episode, you got the Rise and Vape podcast with Logan and Becky on there with you guys, and it was stellar. I was so glad I had somewhere to drive today.
so you
to
got to
fucking
listen to it,
all.
right?
Yeah.
Nice.
I drove like 10 miles under the speed limit just so I could get it all in. So you guys go check that out.
Much appreciated. So yeah, of course, like Dan said, the Shed Time podcast is going, guys. We have 2 episodes up as of right now. They're going to be a bi-weekly type thing. So of course, we dropped this one this Sunday. We're going to be recording our next one this upcoming Sunday, and it will be released the following. So it would be like every other Sunday, there will be a new podcast over there on that. Of course, Liv dropped a link right there for you guys, so you can go check that out. Of course, huge shout out to Logan and Becky for joining us for that episode. It was a great time. Of course, I did drop a new video on my channel earlier today for the Crown Pod from UL. Gotta say, really been enjoying this thing here, guys, so you can definitely go check that out. I'll be dropping a new video as well on Wednesday for the Trilogy RTA from Vapors Cloud, so keep an eye out for that. And of course, the Green Room every Friday on my channel at the same time as the Ohmies, 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully we see you guys all there. Of course, huge shout out to all of our amazing sponsors once again: Rescued E-Liquid, OPMH Project, and the CBD Dispensary, aka PureCBD1.com. Of course, thank you guys all for tuning in and hanging out with us. You guys make this show what it is, and we just love and appreciate all the support you guys continue to show us. And hopefully we'll see you guys all back here on Monday, same time, same place. With all that being said, let's do it as we always do, sending out all those positive vibes, crisp by fives, and let's just vape on, homies.